Hi YouTube, it's Diane again. Thought I would do a short haul video. This is not my regular whip video. The last week and a half, 2 weeks, it's been long for us. My husband, I mentioned in one of my videos that his back went out a few years ago and he had to be in the hospital. He had reacted again. He had another episode. Thankfully, he did not need to be in the hospital, but it's been a long couple weeks. They gave him medication, and he had a reaction, so we had to switch medications, and it's really just hard to see a loved one in pain. So I was able to go to Stitchville, which is my local needlework store. It's a little drive for me, but it's the closest one to me. And kind of go and just decompress. And I asked my husband if I could, and he said, yeah, go ahead. Well, this was when he was feeling better. He's still not 100%. We're still kind of day by day on his back, trying to figure out what needs to be done and all of that. But I was able to go to Stitchville and spend over an hour just looking, and I could spend days in that store easily. But I was able to pick up some things. So this is what I picked up. I do plan on doing these herbs. This is dill, thyme, sage, and basil. This is from the April 2015 Just Cross Stitch magazine and June 2015 Just Cross Stitch magazine. I want to do these in my kitchen, and I do want to do the black frame, the black picture frame. And so I was able to get some antique white Lugana, 28 count, at 2 pieces, and then I'll just cut them in half. And to do the 4 pieces, it was less expensive this way, and I don't know if they had 4 pieces of the size I would need. So I was able to pick those up, or the fabric up for those projects. I also am starting to kit this one up, the Queen Elizabeth coronation dress. On this particular pattern, I was trying to figure out what background, and I chose Jobelin 32 count antique white. I really wanted it to have a crisp, elegant look to it, and I think this will be really good for this particular project. And I bought this pattern off of Etsy. Teresa Gill, G-I-L, and I look forward to kitting this and starting this sometime this year. I also picked up the latest issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine that they had, August 2015. They had a Christmas ornament preview. To be honest, I'm not really thrilled with the preview ones, but I did look forward to the Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornament issue, which should be September-October time frame. I've collected that for years now. I don't have every single one, but I've collected it, and I've stitched a number from them. And there's a Christmas ornament stitch along, and that's where I'm going to pull my Christmas ornament from. If I don't find one in that issue that I like, then I'll just pull from my previous issues. So I have that magazine and an idea of the projects in here. One that really caught my eye is this one, where they use crocheted doilies and buttons really to give some 3-dimension to the piece. So I have that. And then I am part of a Stitcher exchange. And for my partner, we were supposed to get something froggy. So I got a froggy bookmark. I had this at Barnes & Noble. I thought this would be kind of fun. If you're like holding your pattern on a board, or there's a number of uses that you can use these for. And we're supposed to get a summer fiber, and I saw this on Organic Granny's video, Indian Summer by Weeks Dye Works. She's right, it is a beautiful color, so I'm not sure what my exchange partner will do with this particular color, but I hope she enjoys it. I also needed to get something stitching related, so I got some marking pins from My Big Toe Designs. That way you put the first pin in and then you count over however many you need and put your second pin in there. I haven't used specific marking pins. I have used my quilting pins for that though. So hopefully she'll find that useful. We also needed a summer themed pattern, and I found this one by Waxing Moon Designs. It's called Summer Things. It says summer days, butterflies, swimsuits, family vacations, and ice cream. And I thought this was really cute. It uses Weeks Dye Works or DMC, whichever one she would like to use. So I thought that was really cute. Also, I got her something flower related. Country Cottage Needleworks called Summer Garden. And if you look, it's a sampler where you have the letter A and then it says Bluebell, letter C, Daisy, EFG, Hydrangea, IJK, Lilac, MNO, Peony, Q, and then the Rose, and then STU, Violet, and WXYZ, and those flowers are represented in the motifs below. This is made all with DMC. And the water lily linen that the sample was on, they did not have the right size piece, but I found this piece called Belfast 32 Count Ray of Light. It's kind of a yellowish green color, not a pea green, but a yellowish green, and I thought that would look really nice with that particular piece, and I hope she likes it. Also something fun, her name begins with an A, so better bookmark. And I found this notebook. I love these kind of notebooks. I'm always throwing them in my purse or bag. And this one has a magnet, so you could throw it in there and not worry about the pages getting everywhere, but there's always uses for little notebooks like these. So I hope she likes that. For myself, I purchased the latest, or one of the latest Mirabilia patterns. I know there's one after this one. And this is called Moonflowers, and I think she's just gorgeous. The colors in here are, oh my word, they're absolutely fabulous. I purchased the Karen collection. There's only one silk in this project. It's called Lemon Lime, and two whispers. Maybe there's 3 whispers, and I have one of the colors already. But then I had looked at the floss chart, and I knew I had some of the Krennics because it calls for 3 of them, but one of them you need 2 spools of. So I already had 1 spool of this one, so I needed a second, and this one I did not have. So I got those. I did not get the fabric. I will tell you, I do not like the fabric this model is stitched on. I do not know why Mirabilia stitches their models on fabric like this. I don't understand. I switch out the fabric a lot on my projects, and I will on this one when I'm ready to finally kit her and stitch her up. I did not buy the beads, but there are 1, 2, 3, there's 7 beads, including 3 packs of one of them. So, yeah, she is really, really a beautiful pattern, though. I don't know when I'm going to do her. And I know I'm stitching 3 Mirabilias right now, and I have another one I want to start soon. I already have the fabric and stuff for it. Yeah, I like Mirabilia. I also found this one for myself. Elizabeth Needlework Designs, called Inspiration Sampler. It says, think deeply, speak gently, love much, laugh a lot, work hard, give freely, have faith, and be kind. And this calls for, oops, no, don't show the chart. Calls for 1 week's dye work called Butterbean, and then a lot of treasures. Otherwise it's just DMC. Sorry for showing the chart there for a brief second, but I just thought this was really pretty. Don't know when I'm going to stitch it, but I liked it. And it was in their sale section, so it was pretty inexpensive. I also watched a video and somebody showed their needle threader. I've not liked needle threaders that I've purchased in the past. But this one is the one that she showed on her video, and they had one, so I'm going to try this one. I usually don't have a problem threading my needle unless it is like DMC pearl cotton or sometimes the metallics get difficult to stitch, or excuse me, thread through the needle. So I'm going to try it, and it wasn't too expensive at all. I also bought one of these. This is a plastic tube with the little lid here. I have one of these that I stick my beading needles in, because I am not one that has to have a brand new needle with every single project. I quilt, and they always say, oh, you need a new needle on every project. I don't agree with that concept. Sometimes, yeah, it's quite obvious you need a new needle. But with this, I'm going to use this specifically for my metallic needles. When I use a needle for metallics, and those are just tapestry needles, size 24, 26, whatever I need. Once I use them for metallics, I do not use them for any other fiber, because there can be burrs in the eye of the needle, and it can damage your floss. I've had issues with that in the past, and I didn't truly understand it until I stopped using needles that I had done metallics in and put DMC back in it. So I will take a needle and I will use from DMC to a metallic, but I will not go from a metallic to a DMC. But usually when I use a metallic needle, I can use it for more than one project. It's still perfectly good. So that's what this tube is going to be used for, to store those, and I'm going to put a label on it so I know, okay, these ones can be used for metallics only. And then I won't damage my floss, and I won't go through too many needles at one time. If my needle gets too tarnished or breaks the eye or gets bent, I will just toss it. I usually stick them in like an index card, kind of put them in there, or I tape them to a card so I know that they actually got out to the garbage can and didn't end up on the floor in somebody's foot type of thing. But I got one of these specifically for that. I also went to Barnes & Noble, and I looked in their magazine section, because I wanted this one, Joan Elliott exclusive. I had saw a preview that this was going to be in this magazine, and let me go to the side here for just a minute so I don't show a chart. But this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. And with my children getting older, this is a piece I might stitch sooner than later. But I just thought it was beautiful. I loved the colors, and I loved the layers, and yeah, it's very, very beautiful. I also really liked some of the other patterns in here. Like there's a Lizzie Kate, they have an interview with her. And, let's see. I flipped through it, but I'm afraid I might show a chart, and I don't want to do that. Let's see. Was there another one in this particular? I'm liking the style of this particular magazine so much that my birthday is in July, and so I'm going to ask possibly for a subscription to this particular magazine. I also picked up Cross Stitch Crazy. There's another Joan Elliott, the 20s. What is it? Classic Charm, I guess is the name. But I also love these bird cages on this pillow. And I could see, and there were some other things in here that I thought were so cute. So let me turn so I don't, again, show any charts that I don't want to show. So let's see, that one's page 38. And here's that bird cage pillow. A lot of it is back stitching. And then you have some, just the birds. I thought that was so pretty. And it'd be a great gift for somebody. And, let's see, page 10 is the Joan Elliott. I'm a Downton Abbey fan, and this is the era that they are in on Downton Abbey, so I'm really liking that era of time at the moment. So yeah, this pattern drew me, and I love the colors she chose, this green and pink, and they're not pastel. I get tired of pastel all the time, personally. But this one also came with this card kit where you can do these two little bunny cards. I've never made cross-stitch cards, quite frankly, because people I'd send cards to, I don't know if they'd appreciate it. But I will stitch them, and then I will make sure to find somebody who will appreciate the time in them. And this has all of the supplies. It might not have a needle, but it has all the other supplies. So I've never done a card like that. I look forward to trying that. This is the World of Cross Stitching. I really love this butterfly up here. Let me see if I can find it in the magazine. 76. I like butterflies, as do my daughters. So here's this one. I just thought that was really, really nice. And again, this is a magazine. I'm not as familiar with the format as other magazines, but I'm enjoying the format more and more. I also love this one is an alphabet, so you can use it for different things, and these little signs, and the lilacs. The lilacs are really, really nice. It also came with a chart book, a bumper chart book. All of these patterns are in here, and they all use only 2 colors of Madeira, which I've never stitched before. This one is 0404, but I don't know if it has a name. Let me peek in here and see if they give it a name for the color. They just call it pink. So they call that pink and they call that green. Very feminine colors that work together, and all the patterns in here can be stitched with those 2 colors. So I have those. So that's my haul. Next month is my birthday, and I'm trying to make my wish list on what I want. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. My husband likes it when I give him a list, just so he has an idea. Maybe I get another trip to Stitchville. I don't know. But I thank you for watching, and I do plan on doing the stitchers, some of the tags that are floating around in a different video. So I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I was watching my video and realized I forgot to mention something. I was working on my piece for the Specialty Stitches SAL, and this is One Stitch at a Time by Patricia Ann Designs. And it's my one complaint about this pattern is they make some suggestions on fibers. You could choose whatever you want, but they don't tell you how many yards you need of each, or meters. And so here's where I'm at on the project. And I ran out of Krennic. This is all I have left of my spool. And I have this square here, this square, and this square up here, and then there's more Krennic in the border. I knew I could fudge the stuff in the border just by using another Krennic, but I didn't have anything really close to this in my collection. So I decided to order some from 123 Stitch. I had never ordered from 123 Stitch before, and I thought, well, instead of just, one spool, this is, I think, $2.40, I believe, American, and then pay that much in shipping, what else could I throw in there? And I do have a 123 wish list started. Well, as many of you know, my son Josh has a YouTube channel, and his sword is an Excalibur Knight's sword of a knitter, and he got in a conversation with Sticky Stitch, Aish from Sticky Stitch, on her channel. She also knits, and so they were talking knitting, and then at some point they started talking tea, because my son drinks a lot of tea, and so she said, I'll send you some tea. And so he said, okay. And he got the package, and I recognized the name, so I knew who had sent him the package. Well, he went in his room, and then he came out, and he read a note, and it said, please give this piece of fabric to your mom, because she'll, I'm trying to remember how it was worded, something along the line of she will use it well. And this is the piece of fabric that was sent to me. It's my first RAK, and it almost had me in tears. It was just totally unexpected, and my favorite color is green, and this is 32 count peppermint. It's called peppermint cream. It's Murano. from the Crafty Kitten company in the UK, and it's beautiful, beautiful piece. It has a little sparkle to it. Well, I had this piece, and I needed that krennic, and I thought, I wonder if I could find a pattern in my wish list that will fit on this, and I think I did. This is the pattern I chose to get. Forgive Quickly and Kiss Slowly. That's a Lizzie Kate snippet. Cynthia had this on her video, and she showed it, held it up and showed it, and I really, really liked it a lot. I also got the Classic Colorworks, it's called Cupid. I've never stitched with this, so that'll be a new fiber for me to stitch with. But, I do have 13 children, so I've kind of followed this advice. There's a stitch along, I think it's November, for Lizzie and Kate, and I wasn't going to do it because I didn't have any patterns. And I don't remember ever stitching a Lizzie Kate. But now I do, and so I'm going to use this fabric. I did the math, and it should fit great. This pattern with this fiber. There's only one fiber in the whole project. So this is what I'm going to do for that stitch along. And I wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, Aish from Sticky Stitch. This was just fabulous. You could have knocked me over. I was just, oh my, it made my day. Definitely made my day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think that this truly is the end of the video. But I thank you all for watching and for people subscribe. I have over 500 subscribers now. That just is amazing to me. I do want to do some kind of giveaway at some point in time, but right now my schedule's as busy as everybody else's. But I thank you for subscribing. Feel free to comment below. And we will see you soon with a, I'd like to do the tags and then a whip update. And I do plan on some point going through this project, kind of square by square, and telling you what each stitch is and the fibers that were used. And maybe do a tutorial on how to do the stitches. I don't know. But I do plan on going through this square by square. So thank you and have a great day.